What's up, guys? This is Will Nuckles. I'm a full stack developer at LookFar. Today I'll be answering a question from an entrepreneur in Alabama. She'd like to know if Xamarin would be beneficial for an application that they would like to build for mobile environments. So the answer for that would be depends. Xamarin is a cool little tool that will allow you to code using one language and build that out to multiple native devices. So because of this, we get to have one language, one code base, one set of logic, and then two separate applications when you're ready. So let's get into the pros. Pros. First pro is the C# language. We get to use C# to code the logical backend for both sides of the application. This means no Objective-C, no Swift, no Java. You learn C#, you know somebody knows C#, you get in there, you're good, right in the way. Because it is all in C#, we get to use one code base. That means one repo. You don't have to worry about keeping track of an iOS versus an Android. So cleaner code base means leaner times, happier developers, we're good to go. Native builds, what this means is once you go through and you code everything out for your application, it actually builds down to the native language of iOS and Android. This is good because it runs faster, it's cleaner on when it actually gets compiled down, and you're going to have two separate applications that are going to be built. Saves time and money. This is probably one of the most obvious ones. Because you only have one code base and one language, you don't have to worry about a learning curve. You don't have to worry about having multiple applications or multiple developers even. If somebody knows C#, they can probably do this whole thing by themselves. Good performance ties back into this native build. What goes on here is it's performing better because it is a native language. It's getting closer to the metal in these applications for your phones, and we are quicker and happier. Another pro is the C# libraries. Visual Studios has a very nice NuGet packet manager that allows you to pull down some pre-made C# libraries that you can integrate into your applications. These wouldn't really be feasible because C# isn't really compatible with your Java and your Swifts. The last thing is you still are able to customize the UIs for either platform. You're going to have a different page for your Java, for your Android, and you have a different page for your iOS and your Swift Objective-C. So you can keep them separate, you can keep them looking just like what they should be looking like for their native applications. Cool, so now that we've talked about the pros, let's talk about the bad news. We have the cons over here. So one of the biggest things is this is not a code once tool. What that means is you are still going to have to code some very specific things depending on what platform we're going through. iOS deals with StoreKit, so you're going to have to write some StoreKit specific stuff. That's not going to work in Android and vice versa. That kind of leans towards this next point. There is a learning curve. There are some API endpoints inside of Xamarin that exist only in Xamarin and are used in C# that aren't used in Java or Objective-C or Swift. Also, along with that, there's no open source libraries that are going to be able to be used because of the age and maturity of these Java, Android apps and these iOS apps. People have written some pretty cool stuff that are available to you to help along with your development. You're not going to be able to bring those in and use them inside the C# environment because they're different languages, they just don't work. And whenever you run into those kind of issues, you're going to have a hard time finding some very specific use cases because there's going to be some limited knowledge when it comes to actually sharing knowledge-based questions about Xamarin. You're going to have the forums, Xamarin forums, and Stack Overflow is going to be there to help you, but it's just not going to be as much information out there regarding probably what you're going to be looking forward to. There's still going to be a basic knowledge required of both of these native environments, and that kind of goes back to the not a code once point. You're going to have to understand StoreKit and some other basic things, and you're also going to have to code out those things individually, so you are going to have to know a few things about those. And lastly, there are bugs in Xamarin. Unlike every other perfect piece of software out there, everything's got a little bit of bugs. So something we have to work through, and we'll take those into consideration whenever you guys make your final decision. Should you use Xamarin in your tech stack? The answer is kind of a maybe. If you've got a team of C# gurus that aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and learn some new stuff, Sure, get them in there. It'll help you meet your deadline and keep you guys lean and clean. If you've got some iOS developers or Android developers already on staff, it might not make the best sense to use it. We like it, we use it, but it might not be perfect for every single project out there. If you've got any further questions, please visit the link in the description. We'd be happy to answer them out and shoot you guys a video. Thank you.